What's up, my foodie junkies? If you are a returning subscriber, hey, let's get down and dirty. And if you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and become a part of the foodie journey, because food is life. So today I am showing you guys how to make my famous cornbread chili, and these are the items that we'll need. You can do a meat of your choice. I do the vegan meat. This is not the usual meat that I get, but this is what they had at the Kroger. They ran out of the meat, the vegan meat that I usually get, which is soy free. This one has soy in it. So this is the meat. We need our chili packets. I got 2 just in case, because I might do half original, half mild. 1 tomato. We need some kidney beans, and then some, I put corn in mine, the cornbread, and I use the Diet vegan cheese because I do not do dairy, so I use this cheese. They did not have the shredded cheese, so I end up getting this one. So this one worked just fine too, because I got a little shredded cheese in my fridge too. And you will need like a half of a bell pepper. It's a little less than a half, it's fine. And then onion. And that's pretty much. Any other ingredients, I will show you what I use along the way, but these are the most important things that you'll need. First thing you want to do is wash your hands before you start any cooking. And we're just going to start off by doing the meat. The thing with the vegan meat, it takes so quick to cook, so we're just going to go ahead and pop that on the stove now, and I'll meet you guys over there. So now I'm over here. I turned the stove on. Here's my little my little pan that I'm going to cook in. I'm going to go ahead and pour a little bit of virgin olive oil in here, just a little bit. And open my meat and put it in here. So right now, here's the meat just cooking. We're gonna go over, and while this is cooking over here, we will put a little bit of, let's see, get some garlic powder. A bit of garlic powder. Season that a little bit, and then I use this seasoning. Put a little bit of this in here, and that's how that looks again. I just put that on 4, so we're just gonna go and cut the onions and the bell peppers while this is just in here cooking. So while the meat is over there cooking, I'm going to cut our onion and the little bit of bell pepper we have up. here, I'm gonna put our onions and our bell pepper and our meat. We're just gonna mix that around. This meat was like a spicy meat, so it already came with like some seasoning on it. And then the seasoning that we added. Add your preferred seasoning. If you use the Lowry seasoning salt, if you use pepper, whatever you use, just use what you your seasoning. So that is just cooking and marinating with the onions and bell pepper. I'm going to add a little bit of water in here and we'll be good to go on that part. I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of water. Onions is making me cry. Jesus. So we're just going to let that sit for a little minute, and then we're going to go ahead and wash off our kidney beans. Okay, so while we have the meat over there cooking, we're going to take our kidney beans and we're going to rinse these off. Okay, so those are all done. The meat is still over there cooking. It's just about done. You know, the vegan meat really doesn't take that long, so I'm going to transfer you guys back over there to see how that's doing. So the meat is over here looking good. We're just going to turn this down a little bit because now we're going to go and cut our tomato. I didn't do that right away because we don't need to put the tomato in at this point because it's already going in the oven when we bake it. So once we started putting everything together, that's when you add your tomato. One ingredient I did forget, I thought I had some in my fridge, is jalapenos. You can get fresh ones or you can get the ones that are in a little jar. It's up to you, but it adds like a little spice. I don't have them, but those are really good. So yeah, that's a tip on one thing I forgot that you guys should add. So while our meat is over there slow cooking, I turned that down. Our beans are in the sink. We rinsed those off. Now it's time to cut our tomato. Get your tomato. Take off any sticker that's on there and wash it off. And I cut the tomatoes in big dice. So I just cut the sides off. In a big pot. So we're gonna start mixing everything together, and I'm gonna take you guys back over to the stove and I'll show you how to mix everything. Okay, so this is the pot that I grabbed that we're gonna mix everything in. So the first thing it doesn't matter what order you put them in. So I'm gonna put a little bit more virgin olive oil in here, and since the meat is already here, we'll just take the meat from back here and just transfer it into here. looking and smelling so good, y'all. Okay. Okay. So the meat is in there. So now I have the tomatoes behind me. I'm going to add those in here as well. Boom, tomatoes. We're going to get our beans from the sink that we rinsed off. Add those in here. Beans. Boom. Now anything else that you like to put in your chili, you can put in. So just kind of mix that around here. Now we're going to add the corn. When you do the corn, don't wash the corn off because you want those juices to get inside your chili. So I'm going to go ahead and open those off camera and then I'll pour those in on camera, okay? Okay, so I got our corn all open. I'm going to pour that in here. I only got one thing of corn. So that is in here. And turn the stove up because remember we turned it down a little bit when the meat was transferred back. So mix all that together real good. Now I'm going to fill this cup up with some water. Add that. You can add a little bit more seasoning and then we're going to do the chili seasoning. So we got the juices all flowing in there. All of that is done. I turned the stove up a little bit. We're going to keep that right here and just keep that on there for about 10 to 15 minutes when it starts boiling. And then we're going to add the seasoning in. While that is working over here, we're going to start making our cornbread. So I'm going to take you back to the other side so we can start making our cornbread. Okay, so let's get this cornbread all made. I do not measure. You can measure on the box. It says 1 egg, 1/3 of vegetable oil, and 2/3 cup of milk. I just eyeball it because first of all, I've been making this meal for a long time, and I eyeball everything. That's just how I cook. So if you want to measure it, you may do so. Tatiana is gonna eyeball it. Period. This This cornbread brand is the bomb. Let me show y'all the box. This one. It's really, really good. You don't have to I remember I used to add honey into the Jiffy little, I guess it's like muffin cornbread mix. I used to add like honey or like sugar. This one you ain't gotta add nothing but what it tell you to add. So let me get our milk and our egg. So I do almond milk and then I do the organic eggs. I get these from Kroger. But they taste so much better than the nasty white eggs. And I thought for the longest time that egg was dairy. It's not dairy. So I had stopped eating them for a long time, but then I just recently started. Oh, shoot. Got your 1 egg in there. Get your milk. We do almond milk. Or is hemp milk, soy milk, oat milk. so many different kinds of milk that's non-dairy. And then we're gonna just start mixing this bad boy together. And if I feel like I need to add like any more milk as I go, I do. But usually, I pretty much get it the first time. Then I'm gonna add my little oil in there. I don't have vegetable, I just have our olive oil, so I'm gonna add some of that in there. And keep mixing that until your arm feel like it's gonna fall off. This is finna be so good. Okay. Keep mixing and mixing until your arm feel like it's gonna fall off. Keep mixing and mixing until your arm feel like it's gonna fall off. Keep mixing till your arm feel like it's gonna fall off. My arm feel like it's gonna fall off. See that? Pretty. So, cornbread mix is pretty much done. Yep. So we're gonna keep that over here. We're gonna go back over to the stove and pour our powder, our chili powder in. Look at our chili boiling to perfection. Okay. Now we're gonna add, what y'all wanna do? Mild? Let's do mild. We can do half and half actually. Let's do that. Half mild, half original. So let's pour half of that in here. It's about half. Turn it down a little bit. Put half of this one in here. Y'all, this is finna be the bomb, okay? Period. A little bit more. Okay, so now that is done. So we're gonna start mixing that in. And then I'm gonna add me a little sprinkle of cheese up in there. Of our vegan cheese. Not a little sprinkle. A good amount. Be generous. Oop. Okay. So I'll mix that in there. And I like to put a little hot sauce in mine because it's not a meal if it don't have hot sauce, period. I keep telling y'all. Put that in there. I feel like I just go ahead and just throw the whole bag of cheese in there. Why not? Let's get it open first. So I always get the for the diet, they have yellow cheese and white cheese. For some reason, the yellow cheese, it doesn't have flavor to me. I like the way that the white one tastes better, the mozzarella. So I always get the white one. Like at first I was getting the yellow one, like when I made mac and cheese, just to make the, I would get like one pack of that just so that mac and chease could look yellow, but it just don't have no flavor. The white one has all the flavor, so I just get the white one now. So the chili is pretty much done. That's our chili. So some people say, okay, I eat it like this, I'm done. No. We're gonna bake this with the cornbread on top. That's the famous cornbread chili. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and get our pan all situated and pour our chili and our cornbread on top of it. I am going to record that part. So continue watching. Okay, so we're back over here to the counter. Now this is where we're gonna mix everything together and everything just gonna get all lovely. Foodie, yes, the best. So I'm over here bringing the chili. Actually, before I bring the chili over here, let me put a little oil at the bottom. Okay. And then I already turned on the stove to 400. So I'm going to go ahead and pour our chili in there. I'm sorry if my arm is in the way. Oh, it's kind of popped me a little bit. I don't want y'all to think that I have these little silver things just sitting in my house. I had this left over from Christmas or Thanksgiving, one of the two. Can't remember. Make sure I get all my little goodies. Okay. Put that in the skillet. So now that the chili is in there, it's time to put our cheese on there. Dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free. Is this wave or no wave? Period. I'm telling y'all, dairy is horrible. Scary. Scary. Y'all don't believe me. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. So I guess I'm just gonna plump that on like that. Oh, this is fenced to be. Oh, that's just one. Okay. Okay. So I guess I'll do 6. That looks cool. Oh, cool. Okay, so now we have our cheese on there. Now we're going to put the cornbread on top. Just pour that bad boy all on there. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I mean, stop playing with me. Stop playing with the foodie. TR Foodie don't play that. So, sometimes when you put the white cheese on the bottom, you may think it's done, like the cornbread is not done actually, because the cheese is melting underneath. But just make sure that your cornbread is done, because one time, let me tell you, my cornbread wasn't done. Alright, so we're going to transfer this over to the oven. This is hot. Okay, so y'all can watch me put this in the oven. Hey! Put that bad boy right on in there. I don't set a timer. I would say maybe 15. Okay! It is. Should be done. I ain't check it, but it look like it. Oh, yes, baby, yes. Yes, baby, yes. Yes, baby, yes. Yes, baby, yes, sir. Okay, let's just go ahead and zoom in on this.